Very good evening, my dear GW soldiers. Very good evening, very good evening, very good evening. First of all, kindly let me know, am I audible? Each and every one, am I audible? Yes, Sham, very good evening. Am I audible, everyone? Are you getting my voice? Each and every one, very good evening, very good evening, very good evening. First of all, kindly let me know, am I audible? Yes, Sham, Jaideep, very good evening, bachcho. Now, listen carefully. Today, without wasting a time, we are going to start. But before that, kindly let me know, is there is any doubt till now? Sham, is there is any doubt till now? Any doubt, beta? All are crystal clear? Very good. So today we are going to start lecture number 23, ER model, my dear student. In this, we will discuss first of all whatever remaining in log-based protocol. Then we are going to discuss very fresh topic, ER model. Okay. So what we done in log-based protocol, my dear student, we are discussing implementation of concurrency control scheme in which we done log-based protocol. Log-based protocol, my dear. In the log-based protocol, we discussed 2PL, two-phase locking protocol, strict 2PL, regress 2PL, and conservative 2PL. Conservative 2PL. This topic we done. I given as a homework timestamp based protocol. What beta? Timestamp based protocol. So first of all, kindly let me know you done. Is there is any doubt in timestamp based protocol? Timestamp based ordering protocol. Is there is any doubt? Yeah, can I start ER model directly? Please, each and everyone, let me know fast. Is there is any doubt? Yeah, can we start directly ER model? Acknowledge fast, बच्चों. You have a doubt in timestamp? You read it. Yeah, I have to explain. Everyone, let me know fast. बच्चों जल्दी बताइए. You done timestamp based protocol? Yeah, I need to explain. Please, Sham, Jaideep, Seema, each and everyone, let me know fast. Are you getting or may I need to start? बच्चों से yes या no? At the end of this is not only one line, so I can speak in the at the end. Yes, sir. Explain in brief. Okay, bacha. Listen carefully. We are going to, first of all, we are explaining timestamp based protocol. Why I am focusing on these also? Because today's time, this topic also, question is asking from this topic also. In timestamp based protocol, question is asking, bacho. So that's why I am explaining here timestamp based protocol, my dear student. Now listen carefully, everyone. Timestamp based protocol. What is happening in timestamp based concurrency control protocol? Whenever transaction enter, a unique timestamp is assigned. A unique, please put your pen down. A unique timestamp is assigned to every transaction. Each transactions. Are you getting my point? For example, my dear student, when T1 enter, let us assume T1 timestamp is 10, T2 is 20, T3 is 30, T4 is 60, T5 is 50, T6 is 40. Assume. So these are the timestamp. Yes, Sima, good evening. Sima, you done timestamp? Yeah, may I need to explain? Let me know fast, बच्चों. टाइम स्टैम्प आता है या एक्सप्लेन करना है? लेट मी नो फास्ट, प्लीज डू इट फास्ट. एक्नोलेज एक्नोलेज. सर एक्सप्लेन कर दीजिए. ओके, तो व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग, इन द टाइम स्टैम्प बेस्ड प्रोटोकॉल, लाइक व्हेन यू गो इनटू द पिज्जा हट या डोमिनोज, you will get one counter na, you will get one token number na. Whenever you go into pizza hut or domino's, you pay and you will get token number. According to that token number, you will get your order. Yes or no? So similarly, whenever transaction enter into the system, a unique time stamp assigned for each and every transaction, and serializability order assigned based on that transaction. Serializability order assigned based on that transaction. For example, here you can see, my dear student, first T1 come, then T2, then T3, then T6, then T5, then T4. These are the transaction time stamp na. T1 10, T2 20, T3 30, T4 60, means T6 40, then T5 50, then T4. It is called older transaction. It is called older transaction, and it is called younger transaction. It is called younger transaction, my dear, younger transaction. So what is happening, my dear? Here we have a timestamp. We have a timestamp. Based on that timestamp, you will get the serializability order. Based on that timestamp, you will get the serializability order, bachcho. You will get the serializability order, my dear. You will get the serializability order. Okay. Now listen what I am telling. Here I am explaining in brief also. Each transaction TI issue a timestamp when it enter into the system. Each transaction has a unique timestamp, and every transaction that enter later has the newer timestamp. Are you getting my point? Mean to say newer timestamp having the larger timestamp. For example, T1 enter, that time timestamp is 10. When T2 enter after the T1, then its timestamp is greater than 10. Assume it is a 20. This is the meaning of this line. What? Newer timestamp means new transaction, have timestamp greater than the earlier one. For example, what I am saying, it is T1 then T2, means first T1 come then T2. So what is the meaning? Timestamp of T2 is greater than timestamp of T1. You can assume in this manner. Are you getting my point? This is the meaning of this line. If your schedule is T1 followed by T2, what is the meaning in term of timestamp? Timestamp of T2 is greater than timestamp of T1. Yeah, if you are getting this manner, timestamp of T1 is 10, timestamp of T2 is 20. Timestamp of T2 is 20, then your schedule is T1 to T2. Your schedule is T1 to T2. T1 followed by T2, my dear. Are you getting my point? So this is the meaning of timestamp based protocol. Like I told you, when you go in Domino's or Pizza Hut, you will get one token number. So here you can see timestamp order equivalent to serializability order. Serializability order, my dear. Now, please put your pen down. In a timestamp based protocol, timestamp ordering protocol, timestamp based ordering protocol, listen carefully. Listen carefully. Oh shit. Everyone, listen carefully what I am telling. Please, please, please listen. In the timestamp based ordering protocol, there are two type of timestamp. Really, you will enjoy. There are two type of timestamp. Two type of timestamp. First, transaction timestamp. First, transaction timestamp, that is denoted by timestamp of ti, timestamp of ti, my dear. For example, timestamp of t1 is assume 10, timestamp of t2 is assume 20. Second one is data item timestamp. Second one is timestamp of data item. Timestamp of data item. Transaction timestamp and timestamp of data item, my dear. These are two type. These are two type, my dear student. These are two type. First of all, read timestamp. That is denoted by read timestamp of A. That is denoted by read timestamp of A. Second one is write timestamp. That is denoted by WTS, write timestamp of A, my dear. Again, I repeat, my dear student, timestamp based protocol, it is a very interesting protocol. Thomas Wright rule, recent last 5 to 7 years, 4 to 6 marks question asked from this topic as a numerical point of view, and it is easy, bachcho. What is the timestamp? Nothing. What we done in 2PL, we are applying a lock, shared lock, exclusive lock. Here we are checking all the things based on your timestamp. Sir, what is the meaning of timestamp? Timestamp is nothing, it's a timestamp. Mean to say, it's just like a counter. Like whenever you enter in a Domino's, in a Pizza Hut, in some bank, you will get token number. According to token number, your order will be decided. So same thing happening here. What a unique timestamp is assigned to the each and every transaction where they enter in the when they enter into the system. For example, T1 get the timestamp of 10, T2 20, T3 30, T4 60, T5 50, T6 40. Then what is the serializability order? T1 followed by T2 followed by T3 followed by T6 followed by T5 followed by T4, in which T1 is called older transaction and T4 is called younger transaction, latest transaction, new transaction, yeah, younger transaction. After that, I'm telling that there are two type. If your timestamp, if timestamp of Ti, if this case, then what is the schedule? Ti followed by Tj. Ti followed by Tj, बच्चों. Or if the timestamp of Ti is greater than timestamp of Tj, then what is happening? It is Tj followed by Ti. Because it having the higher timestamp, it comes into the system later. Sir, higher timestamp means younger. Yes, latest, fresh, new. That is called higher timestamp. Are you getting my point? Like here you can see this one having a 10, this one having 20. So what is the order? 10 and 20. Okay. If this one having 20, this one having 20, this one having 10, then what we said? Tj 10, T2, Ti 20. Clear, Sham, Jadip? Like timestamp of T1 is 10, timestamp of T2 is 20. Then what is the order? T1 followed by T2. T1 followed by T2, my dear. After that, I discussed there are two type of timestamp. First one is transaction timestamp. That is denoted by timestamp of Ti. Second one is timestamp of data item, in which there are two type of timestamp: read timestamp and write timestamp, my dear. Read timestamp and write timestamp. Crystal clear, everyone? Each and everyone crystal clear? Let me know fast. Tamka. Now listen, bachcho. What is the meaning of read timestamp and what is the meaning of write timestamp? Read timestamp and write timestamp is what, my dear? Write timestamp. देखो, I mention here. Write timestamp is what? Write timestamp is what, my dear student? Write timestamp is the highest transaction timestamp which perform write operation successfully. And read timestamp means what? It is the highest transaction timestamp which perform read operation successfully. Now try to understand what I am telling. What I am telling, please try to understand, my dear student. T1, T2, T3. Timestamp is 10, 20 and 30. For example, here read A and read A. Are you getting my point? Read A and read A. Okay. Now initially कितना रहेगा? 0. Initially कितना रहेगा? Read timestamp of A 0. Then after that what happened? 10, because max of 0, 10. After that read timestamp of A is how much? 20. Yeah, what you do? You can do one thing. Read and read. Okay. Now what is happening? Here how much? 30. Why? Because max of 10, 30. And after that again 30. Max of 20, 30, my dear. Clear? This is the meaning of read timestamp. This is the meaning, but अभी मैं समझाने के लिए right now for a sake of explanation I am writing in this order because we will discuss lots of point. This is the meaning of read timestamp. Write timestamp. Write A. Write A. Write A. Initially, how much? Write timestamp of A 0. Then what is the write timestamp of A? 10. Max of 0, 10. Then write timestamp of A is how much? 20. Max of 10, 20. And next write timestamp of A is 30. Max of 20, 30, my dear. Still clear everyone? Again I repeat, bacha, listen carefully. We are discussing timestamp based protocol, है ना? So what is happening? First of all, keep one thing in your mind. There are two type of timestamp. There are two type of timestamp. First one is transaction timestamp. Whenever the transaction enter into the system, that time a timestamp is assigned. That is called transaction timestamp. Second one is data item timestamp. Data item timestamp. For example, in this there are two type of timestamp: read timestamp and write. Read timestamp means what? Highest transaction timestamp, highest या largest, highest या largest, highest या largest transaction timestamp, highest या largest transaction timestamp that perform read A operation successfully and that perform write A operation successfully. Like here T1 having the timestamp 10, T2 having 20, T3 having 30. So T1 10, T2 20 and T3 30. So what is the highest transaction timestamp that perform write A operation successfully? 30. Initially 0, then 10, then 10, 20, 20, 20, 30, 30. Initially 0, then 10, 10, 20, 20, then 20, 30, 30 is the highest transaction timestamp. Now, bachcho, what happen? What happen in 2PL? Sometime it is applied, sometime it is not applied. Sometime it is applied, sometime it is not applied. But what happen in timestamp based protocol? In timestamp protocol, please listen carefully. In timestamp protocol, there are some conditions. There are some conditions, bachcho. There are some conditions. What are the condition? For example, if transaction Ti wants to issue read operation, wants to perform read operation, then when it is allowed, second, if transaction ti wants to perform write operation, then when it is allowed, you know these conditions, when it is allowed and when it is not allowed. Please listen carefully, my dear, it's a very important. Ti wants to perform read queue operation. Okay, so there are few cases. If timestamp of ti is less than write timestamp of q, is less than write timestamp of q, my dear, is less than write timestamp of q, then read operation reject and ti roll back. Otherwise read operation allowed, and read timestamp is how much? Maximum of these things. Getting my point? Sir, what if both transaction having the same timestamp? No, tie is not happen. Unique value is assigned, beta. Okay. We have a one counter also for that. Now listen carefully. You know this meaning? First of all, you think, please observe one thing. Here I am checking only 2-3 condition. What 2-3 condition? This condition. Or whenever want to perform write, then this condition and this condition. Are you getting the meaning of this condition? Seema, Jaideep, Sham, Suchitra, Priya. Let me know fast. Are you getting the meaning? Why we are applying these condition? What is the meaning of this? Please try to understand what I am telling. Why I am taking only these two? Why I am taking only these cases? Because you know what are the conflict operations? When you want to perform read, you compare with write. Whenever you want to perform write, you compare with read as well as write. Are you getting my point? So whenever you want to perform operation, read operation, whenever you want to perform only read operation, then you have to compare with write timestamp of data item. Okay. If this condition is happening, then read operation is not allowed in timestamp. Read operation is not allowed, या reject. And ti roll back. Getting my point? Now whenever bachcho, I know you know each and everything, but really I don't know कि you have a feel or not. But after the today class you got the feel why it is allowed, why it is not allowed. You got the feel. Don't worry, it's my duty. Okay. Now here, if timestamp of ti is less than read timestamp of q, whenever you want to perform write q operation na, then you have to check read timestamp of q and write timestamp of q. Then write operation is reject, yeah, not allowed, and transaction ti rollback. Bacho, now you explain what is the meaning of first case. What is the meaning of this case? Please everyone let me know fast. जल्दी बताइए सब. Everyone. What is the meaning of this case? Please everyone tell me fast. Listen carefully. Seema, Jaideep, Sham, beta, please tell me the meaning of this case. Why it is reject? Why it is reject? I told this condition na. If first of all I told why only three case, because you know the conflict operation, read, write, write, read, write, write. This point is clear, I think. Okay. Now why it is not allowed? You tell me fast. Sham, Seema, Jaideep, each and everyone, Priya, Adhyaraj, everyone let me know fast. जल्दी बताइए बच्चों, प्लीज फास्ट. Not no. Beta, in the starting you are saying ki please explain in the brief. Huh? Listen carefully. Now what I am telling. Bachcho, please try to Seema, Sham, explain fast, 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 fast. Tell me fast, bachcho. Acknowledge very fast, please. What I am telling, bachcho, timestamp based protocol, what we done starting from, I am going to start. First of all, we have wrong, Sham. We have a unique timestamp when the transaction enter into the system, and if timestamp is larger, then it is TI followed by TJ. For example, timestamp of T2 is greater than T1, then you can say T1 followed by T2. Yeah, timestamp of TI is less than TJ, then you say TI followed by TJ. Yeah, timestamp of TI is greater than timestamp of TJ, then you say TJ followed by TI. For example, timestamp of T1 is 10, timestamp of T2 is 20. So what is the serializability order? T1 followed by T2, my dear. After that, we discussed there are two type of timestamp also, read timestamp, and globally there are two type of timestamp, transaction timestamp, that is TS, TI, denoted by second one is timestamp of data item. Data item means whatever operations like A, B, C, D, E, and a data item. There are two type of timestamp, read timestamp and write timestamp as well. Read timestamp means what? Highest transaction timestamp that perform read operation successfully, and write timestamp is what? Highest transaction timestamp that perform write operation successfully. Okay, bacha. Now listen carefully. This is very important. I will let you know. Don't worry. Within 10 minutes. Now, first I discuss what is the meaning of read timestamp and write timestamp. Seema, acknowledge. Now I am discussing timestamp based protocol. Whenever you want to perform insert operation, read operation or write operation, when it is allowed, when it is not allowed. So first of all, we have to check three conditions. When you want to perform the read, you check with write timestamp. When you want to perform write, then you check with read and write. Sir, why only these things? Because you know there are three conflict operation on same data item: read, write, write, read, write, write, my dear. Are you getting my point? Read, write, write, read, write, write. Clear, bacha? So there are three: RW, WR, and WW. So whenever this case is happen, then read operation is not allowed. Yeah, you can say read operation reject, and transaction rollback, my dear. Transaction rollback, again enter into the system. Now whenever you want to perform write, then we have to compare with read timestamp and write timestamp. Now my question is, why sir, why only these things? Why this is, why this one is not allowed? Why this one is not allowed? Why this one not allowed? And why this one not allowed? First of all, why only this one? Because just please try to understand. Try to understand why only these one. Because only these are the three conflict instruction. Okay. Otherwise, if timestamp is higher than the write timestamp, then allowed. Then allowed, and set read timestamp is maximum of this one or timestamp of TI. Clear? Now I am discussing why. Why? Please listen carefully. First case, read operation. Put your pen down, everyone. Put your pen down. Transaction TI wants to perform read operation. Read A operation. So what is happening? If timestamp of Ti is less than write timestamp of data item A, less than write timestamp of data item A, then read operation reject, yeah, you can say not allowed, and Ti rollback. Ti rollback. What is the meaning of these things, bacha? What is the meaning of these things? Please try to understand. Please try to understand, my dear students, and feel it. 10, 20, 30. Let us assume, my dear, we have already one transaction, right timestamp is 30. How much right timestamp? 30, bacho. 30. Now here T2 wants to perform. Ti means T2 wants to perform read Q operation. Read A operation. Read A operation T2 wants to perform. No. Mean to say here right timestamp of A is how much? 30. And timestamp of T2 is how much? 20. Okay. So what is happening? Timestamp of Ti is less than right timestamp of A. Then reject and roll back. Now my question is why it is happening? Why it is happening? Please try to feel it, my dear. Try to feel it. Listen carefully. Already try to understand, my dear. Already your timestamp is 30. Your timestamp is 30. Means your latest value is updated by T3 transaction. Updated by T3 transaction. And where you are reading? From which transaction you are performing read? T2. So what happened? Like right now there is a 2023. You are reading the value in 2020 and 1988. There is any sense? No, no. When it makes sense of reading, either you are reading here or after that. Or after that, then you are reading the correct value. You are reading the updated value. Are you getting my point? Mean to say this is like, for example, you right now we are in 20th century, 2023, in the year of 2023, and we are reading the value of 2018. Yeah, 2015. So it make any sense कि you are reading the older value. Right now we have updated value. Right now we have updated value. Are you getting my point? So what I am telling, कि if timestamp of Ti is less than right timestamp of Q, less than right timestamp of Q, here I mention A timestamp, data item A. Okay, that means Ti need to read a value of Q that was already overwritten. Mean to say you are reading the older value 2015, year 2015, and right now there is a 2023, my dear. There is a 2023. So you are reading the old value that is already updated, yeah, overwritten by latest transaction, my dear. You can see now, you are reading this value. You want to perform read operation of this transaction, but already we have right timestamp is 30. Already we have a right timestamp is 30. Mean to say you read a value of data item Q. You read a value of data item Q that was already overwritten, yeah, updated by latest transaction. Updated by later transaction, my dear. Later, yeah, new transactions. बच्चों feel आया? Are you getting the feel? Then read operation is reject and Ti rollback. So when the Ti rollback, again it enter into the system with new timestamp. Either T4, T5, but greater than 30 at least. Are you getting my point? Are bachcho, please understand in practically. You are reading the data which was in 2015. Right now there is a 2023. So what happened? Whatever you are reading the value, that is already updated by the latest transaction. So your reading don't make any sense because you are reading a one value which is already updated by the latest transactions. So when it make your read operation is not making any sense, means you are reading those value which is already updated by the latest transaction. When it make a sense, either you are reading here, or after this one, either in same transaction or after that latest transaction. Then you will read the latest value. But you are watching the video, yeah, any you are watching any data, you are reading the syllabus which was in gate 2010, 2010. After that there is a lots of changes now. In 2008 there is a CS and IT different paper, 2003 to 8. So please try to understand what I'm telling. So that not making any sense. That's why read operation is reject. When it make any sense, either you are reading here or here, means either at least your timestamp is 30, whatever right timestamp, or greater than this, at least 30, yeah, greater than this. Then read operation is allowed and read timestamp is set, whatever is maximum, my dear, whatever is maximum, either this one or this one. Chamka everyone? Now right operation, listen carefully. For a right operation, T2 transaction, perform the right operation, my dear. Put your pen down everyone and listen carefully. T2 want to perform right operation. Okay, already timestamp is already read timestamp of Q is how much? 30, and timestamp of TI is 20. Here right timestamp is already how much? 30, and timestamp of TI is how much? 20. Getting my point? Now try to understand what is happening. If you are performing right operation here, then what is happening? If you are performing here right operation, then what is happening? Please listen carefully. What is happening if you are performing in T2, then what is happening? Let me know fast. I am telling. Don't worry. Already read timestamp is how much? 30. Already read timestamp is how much? 30. And transaction timestamp is 20. Mean to say already whatever value you are writing na, that was needed in last year. Now we have a one Sufi song, Chhod Aaye Hum Wo Galiya. Because right now you have a latest value. You read a latest value, updated value. Right now you are performing the right operation. I will not read any value. Why? Because I will read the maximum value, latest value. What is the meaning of higher transaction timestamp? Means updated value, latest features. Getting a point? So here this is not allowed. Right operation not allowed. Right operation not allowed. And T2 rollback. When this value reflect in the system, either you are writing here, yeah, after that, then it is reflect. Clear bacha? If you are performing right operation here, already right timestamp is 30. Then you are performing obsolete right. वो right that is obsolete, my dear, because already we have latest value. If you perform the right operation, did not affect in the system, my dear. Clear? Now try to understand what I'm telling. Please listen carefully. If timestamp of Ti is less than read timestamp of Q, this one, what timestamp of Ti is less than read timestamp of Q, then what is happening, my dear? What is happening, my dear? What is happening? You can see here. Then the value of Q, the value of data item Q, the value of data item Q that Ti is producing was needed previously. This is required in the 2020. Right now there is a 2023. So what I am think, कि this value not produced, I am using different one. So this value was needed previously and the system assumed that this value would never be produced. Because right now I have latest value na. Right now I have latest value already time 30. Then why we need? This was need in 2020. Right now there is a 2023. So write operation is reject and Ti rollback. Second, if timestamp of Ti is less than write timestamp of Q, then you are attempting a obsolete write. Obsolete write, my dear, obsolete write, then write operation is reject. Write operation is reject and Ti rollback. So again I summarize, my dear. Again I summarize, listen carefully. Whenever you want to perform read या write, first of all you know कि you have to compare only these three cases. You have to compare only these three cases. If these are happening, then rejection will happen. If whenever you want to perform read, you compare with write timestamp. Whenever you want to perform write, you compare, it will not read timestamp less and write timestamp less. If yes, then read and write operation not allowed. Now I told the meaning also. For example, if you want to perform read operation, my dear, so if you are reading here, already I have latest value, please try to feel, already I have latest value and you are performing the read in 2020, already it is the 2023, then what you say, whatever you read na, that is updated in the 2023 January 2023, it is already updated. So whatever you read, it not making any sense. So read operation is reject. And what we do, if you want to read by today onwards. Because if you read from today onwards, you will get the latest या new या correct या updated value. Otherwise, you are getting one value, you are reading a one value that is updated in January 2023. January 2023, my dear student. Crystal clear, बच्चा? Yes. Second, whenever we are talking about the write, then I told, if you write here, please try to feel. बच्चों feel आना चाहिए. If you write here, then what is happening? If you write here, then what is happening, my dear? What is happening? This return value is read if I standing here. In 2023, if you performing write and I am performing read that time, that it make any sense. Because right now I already read a latest value. Then why I go for an old value? Or already I told it denote the highest transaction timestamp. Which one is the highest? 20 and 30? 30 is the highest. Then write operation not allowed. Here, if you perform write operation, which one is the highest? 30 or 20? 30. And you are writing in 2020. Already I have the data which is written in January 2023. So mean to say you are writing obsolete write. That is not allowed. Clear, bacha? Yeah, very simple language. I told the summary. Very simple language is this one. Very simple. These are the Brahmastra. Which I am explaining right now. This one. What beta? Conflict operation order. Or summary में what I can say, my dear, what I can say, conflict operation order. Just a minute. Transaction timestamp order must be same as all conflict operation order. This is the point. Mean to say, if transaction is T1 to T2, this is the Brahmastra. Easiest thing, but I don't want to explain in the beginning. If transaction order is T1 to T2, if transaction order is T1 to T2. When it is T1 to T2? When timestamp of T1 is less than timestamp of T2. Then all conflicting operation order must be T1 followed by T2. This is the meaning, my dear. This is the meaning. Now we will solve the question. Bachcho, most of the students have a phobia of timestamp based protocol. It is very easy. I will show by two method. I will show by two method, my dear. Alternate, yeah, other approach. Alternate method. Alternate. And listen carefully. This is the first. Please put your pen down. Put your pen down. What is happening? What is happening? Here timestamp of T1 is less than timestamp of T2. So what is the transaction order? T1 to T2. Then all conflicting order must be T1 followed by T2. But what is happening here? This is what? T2 to T1. So not allowed under TSP. Not allowed under TSP. Are you getting, bachcho? Really, if you are enjoying, kindly make a heart, beta. Otherwise here, you want to perform write operation. What is the right time stamp of A? What is the right time stamp of A? 20. And transaction time stamp is 10. So what happened? Time stamp of T1 is less than right time stamp of A. Then write reject. Not in TSP. Chamka, everyone? Chamka? Second question. What is the transaction order? T1 to T2. But what is the conflict operation order, my dear? T2 to T1. T2 to T1. So not in TSP. Not allowed under timestamp protocol. Clear? Second operation. Here read timestamp is how much? I will explain by two approach. बेटा मैं यहाँ दो अप्रोच से सिखा रहा हूं. Two approach. You enjoy everyone. Not take a tension. Read timestamp of A is 20. And what is the timestamp of T1? Timestamp of T1 is 10. So what happened here? Timestamp of T1 is less than read timestamp of A. So what happened? Write operation reject. Yeah, not allowed. Not TSP. Not allowed under the TSP. Because timestamp of T1 is 10 and data item already having 20, my dear. This is the another approach. Hai na? Here, what is happening? Transaction order is T1 se T2. All conflicting operation you can see. All conflicting operation you can see T1 se T2. Yeah, you can say read timestamp of A is how much? 10. Timestamp of T2 is 20. So here timestamp of T2 is greater than read timestamp of A. Write aloud. In A or B same case. A and B same case. Yes, it's TSP. Timestamp based protocol. Next here, what is happening? Transaction order is T1 se T2. Conflict operation order is T2 se T1. Means not in TSP. Not in TSP. Or otherwise, read timestamp of A is how much? 20. Timestamp of T1 is 10. So what is happening? Timestamp of T1 is less than read timestamp of A. Write reject. And transaction rollback, my dear. So what we can say? Not allowed under the TSP. Chamka, everyone? Chamka, I explain these four example with 2-2 approach. With 2-2 approach, my dear. 2-2 approach. Everyone, if it is crystal clear as like as water, please acknowledge your comment. Don't write only CC. Don't write only crystal clear. Explain something else. How you feel this concept. Now I can take a guarantee. If you are getting, I told 2 approach, I am telling each and every specific reason. No need to memorize. No need to memorize, my dear. I explain thoroughly, complete. Now, Thomas Wright rule is also one there. Thomas Wright rule, total crystal clear. It's a modified version of the timestamp based protocol in which only one changes. Obsolete write ignore. Obsolete write ignore. What is the one change? This is not allowed under the TSP. This is not allowed under the TSP. What is the change? What is the one change? Listen carefully. Thomas Wright rule, all are same as TSP. Same as TSP. Only one change. When you want to perform write queue, then if timestamp of TI less than write timestamp of Q, then ignore and no rollback. No rollback. But what happen in other? What happen in other? What happen in other? Normal. What happen in other? Write operation is reject. Write operation is reject, my dear. This is only change. Only one is, this is the changes. And Thomas Wright rule are used for view serializability. To achieve the view serializability, my dear. Listen carefully. What I am saying, only one condition I told na. What? Timestamp of TI less than write timestamp of Q. This is allowed. This is allowed in Thomas Wright rule. So when TI attempt to write a data item, in normal what happen? In normal what happen? In TSP, reject and roll back. And in Thomas Wright rule, what is happening, my dear? Ignore and no rollback. Ignore and no rollback. Okay, this is the point. Here I mentioned timestamp of TI is less than write timestamp of Q. Then TI attempting to write a obsolete value. So what is happening? Rather than ignoring the value of TI, we ignore. Rather than rollbacking, we ignore. Otherwise, this protocol is same as the timestamp based ordering protocol, or it is used some view serializable schedule that is not config serializable. Like you can see, this one is same. Timestamp of TI, read timestamp of Q. Only this one. When you perform write timestamp, when you perform write operation, na, only one change. This is the one change. Okay, write operation is ignore and no rollback. Otherwise, same as TSP. For example, here, what happening? Write timestamp of A is how much? 20. Timestamp of T1 is 10. So here what happened? Timestamp of T1 is less than write timestamp of A. Then ignore and no rollback under Thomas Wright rule. Under Thomas Wright rule, my dear. Thomas Wright rule, my dear. Clear? You can see here. And we have a deadlock prevention algorithm also, wait die and bound wait. So my dear, please acknowledge till now each and everything is crystal clear or not. Acknowledge fast. Each and everyone let me know fast. Maja aaya? Enjoying? Everyone. Do it fast. Don't write only crystal clear, Seema. Now we are going to discuss your next topic, ER model. ER model, beta. Entity relationship model. Entity relationship model. It is a conceptual design in which we have some things. First one is entity. Please listen carefully. You read this topic in your BTech curriculum in depth also. First is entity set, relationship set. Okay, now listen. First of all, ER model means entity relationship model. It is a conceptual design, my dear. It is a conceptual design. It is a conceptual design. We have some things, various things: entity set, relationship, and relationship set. Most of the student having the doubt in these terms also. Most of the student having the doubt. Thank you, Jaideep. Seema, Shyam, thank you, beta. Most of the student having the doubt in these terms also. So first of all, I am discussing each and every terms. Although you read this topic in your BTech curriculum in complete depth, here I want to focus ER to RDBMS conversion, but I will discuss here some topics in briefly and in very fast mode. Okay, don't worry. If you having any doubt, kindly let me know. Now what I am telling, entity. What is the meaning of entity? Entity is nothing. It's a object. It's a object like physical entity, books, and logical entity, account. Entity set. Entity set means what? Collection of similar entity. Collection of similar entity. For example, class. Yeah, student community is a entity set. Employee is a entity set. Each and every employee is a entity. Are you getting my point? Means class is a entity set. Each and every student, each and every candidate is a entity. For example, entity set is a schema, or every instance is called entity. Every instance is called entity, my dear student. So first of all, what I am telling, entity. A entity is an object that exists and distinguishable from other object. Then entity set. What is the meaning of entity set? What is the meaning of entity set? The entity set is a set of entities of same type that share the same properties. For example, all students. Students, my dear. So what happened? Class is a entity set. Each and every candidate is a student. Yeah. Listen carefully. I am telling. For example, I have a one table student in which we have a name, gender, branch. Okay. Yes, CGPA. Name, branch, and CGPA. Assume name, branch, and CGPA. Okay, bacha. For example, Sham, branch IT 10. Seema, CS 10. Jaideep, CS 10. Abhay, IT 9. Getting my point? These are called entities, and this is called entity set. This is called entity set. Mean to say, for example, my dear, you can assume in this manner. This is called entity set. Each and every instance या object is called entity. Is called entity, my dear. Is called entity. For example, this is the student set, student entity set, and these are called entity. These are called every are called entities. Getting my point? This is the difference between entity and entity set. Most of the students don't know the difference between entity and entity set. Entity means, like you can say, one person. Whenever we are talking about schema, that is a entity set. Or entity set, my dear, is represented by a rectangle. Rectangle. For example, student is a entity set. Student is a entity set. So what I'm telling, entity set is a set of entities of same type, share the same property. Share the same properties means all sharing the name, branch, CGPA. Name, branch, CGPA, my dear. Crystal clear, bacha? And entities having the attributes, like people having the name and address, these things. For example, listen carefully. We have a instructor entity set. One is the instructor entity set. Another one is student entity set. Instructor and student. Like you can see in the instructor entity set, we have instructor ID, instructor name. Like this is the ID, these are the name. These are the student ID, these are the student name. There are two entity set. One is, my dear, one is instructor entity set, another one is student entity set. Student entity set. So what I am telling, entity set, it is a set of entities of same type denoted by a rectangular box. Denoted by a rectangular box in ER diagram. Entity can be identified by a list of attribute which place in oval. Like here you can see. And employee is the entity set. Here employee ID, name, DOB, age, these are attributes. After that, relationship. Relationship is telling the association. Association. Are you getting my point? Relationship is telling association, and collection of similar relationship is called relationship set. What I am telling, listen carefully. For example, you are working in one college, yeah, one office. Each and every one is employee working in this department. So what is the relationship? Working. And what is the relationship set? Work. This employee work here, and it is represented by diamond. Relationship set represented by diamond, my dear. Relationship set represented by diamond. Clear, bacha? So what I am telling, a relationship is an association of various entities. For example, student entity relationship set with instructor entity. Are you getting my point? Or mathematically कैसे आप denote? How can you denote? At least n value is greater than 2. Mean to say you require two entities, one here, then you can denote the relationship R. You can denote the relationship R, my dear. You can denote the relationship R, my dear. Getting my point? For example, E1, E1, E2, En. E1 belongs to E1 entity set, or E2 belongs to E2 entity set. For example, you can see there are two entity set, employee and department. Employee and department, and this is the relationship set. This is the relationship set. But it's very easy. Already you done. That's why I'm not wasting my time here. Collection of similar relationship. Collection of similar relationship. For example, relationship set between instructor and student. Instructor and student, my dear. You can see beta. Relationship set between instructor and student. So attribute, you can see here. These are the advice when the instructor instruct the student 3 May 2008. The attribute also have property of relationship set that we'll discuss in descriptive attribute. Don't worry. For example, for instance, the advisor relationship set between the entity set instructor and student may have the attribute date. What I am telling, here we have an entity set instructor. Listen carefully. Instructor, advise, student. Instructor, advise, student, and what is telling ki this relationship set also having some attribute. This relationship set also having some attribute like date. So this is explaining, listen carefully what is mentioned here. The attribute of can be property of the relationship set also. Means a relationship set can also having the attribute. For example, here advisor relationship set between instructor and student entity set may have the attribute date, which keep track कि when the student started being associated with the advisor, कि student कब से वो सर से पढ़ रहा है. Are you getting my point? When the student get the advice from the teacher, instructor, that keep track the date also. Mean to say relationship set in this PPT, in this PDF, in this page, what is saying ki relationship also having some attribute. For example, here advisor is the relationship set which having one attribute, that is date, which keep track ki when the student started being associated with the advisor. Now there are these type of attribute which will start tomorrow onwards, which we will start tomorrow, after tomorrow. There is a alternative days, class Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Okay, so but my dear, you read this thing till now, each and every one, and I hope so you are getting each and everything. And believe me, now I think there is a no confusion in timestamp based protocol. And bachcho, why I am taking the responsibility of timestamp? Because today's time it is asking bacha. That's why. So please let me know each and everything is crystal clear or not. Everyone. Enjoy timestamp based protocol, and these are the basic of the ER. You read it, then I will discuss bacha. You do one thing, bacho, I will upload this PDF. Please, you read one thing, you read all this theory. I just do the quick recap, है ना? You will get this PDF on PW app. You do one thing, you just read it. Okay बच्चा, करके लाओगे? You have a tomorrow break na, so please read this PDF. You will start same timing, read it on by own and do it. Okay, so in the next class I will tell you some basic, then I start the conversion of ER to RDBMS. Okay bachcho, so thank you everyone. Write down if there is any doubt, otherwise write down hashtag enjoying. Thank you Seema, God bless you everyone. God bless Seema, each and everyone. God bless beta. Thank you everyone, thank you. God bless you.